Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our channel Botany with YouTube. Today I am here, a PhD scholar. I am going to present a topic: asexual reproduction in plants. In asexual reproduction, part of the parent plant is used to generate a new plant. Grafting, layering, and micropropagation are some methods used for artificial asexual reproduction. The new plant is genetically identical to the parent plant from which the stock has been taken. Asexually reproducing plants thrive well in stable environments. Botany with YouTube is our channel. If you are new in our channel, then please try to subscribe our channel. Firstly, asexual parts. Many plants are able to propagate themselves using asexual reproduction. This method does not require the investment required to produce flower, attract pollinators, or to find a means of seed dispersal. Asexual reproduction produces plants that are genetically identical to the parent plant because no mixing of male and female gametes take place. Traditionally, these plants survive well under stable environmental conditions when compared with plants produced from sexual reproduction because they carry genes identical to those of their parents. Asexual reproduction in plants, natural method, for example, vegetative propagation, budding, fragmentation, and spore formation, and artificial methods are cutting, grafting, layering, micropropagation. Natural method of asexual reproduction. Natural method of asexual reproduction includes strategies that plants have developed to self-propagate. Many plants like ginger, onion continue to grow from buds that are present on the surface of stem. In some plants such as sweet potato, adventitious root or runner can give rise to new plants. In Bryophyllum, the leaves have small buds on their margins. When these are detached from the plant, they grow into independent plant, or they may start growing into independent plant if the leaf touch to the soil. Some plants can be propagated through cutting alone. Vegetative propagation, you can observe here in diagram. Vegetative reproduction, also known as vegetative propagation, vegetative multiplication, or vegetative cloning. It is any form of asexual reproduction occurring in plants in which a new plant grows from a fragment or cutting of parent plant or a specialized reproductive structure. Budding, a form of asexual reproduction in which a new individual develops from some generative. In some species, bud may be produced from almost any point of body, but in many cases budding is restricted to specialized area. Botany with YouTube is our channel. Share our channel with your friends, colleagues and researchers. fragmentation. Fragmentation in multicellular or colonial organism is a form of asexual reproduction or cloning where an organism is split into fragments. Each of these fragments develop into nature fully grown individuals that are clone of the original organism. The organism may develop specific organs or zones to shed or be easily broken off. If the splitting occurs during preparation of organism, both fragments must be able to regenerate the complete organism for it to function as reproduction. Spore formation you can observe here in diagram. Sporangium have spores. Spores are reproductive cells in plants, algae and other protists and fungi. They are typically single-celled and have the ability to develop into a new organism. Unlike gametes in sexual reproduction, spores do not need to fuse in order for reproduction to take place. Organisms use spores as means of sexual reproduction. Artificial method of asexual reproduction. These methods are frequently employed to give rise to new and sometimes novel plants. They include grafting, cutting, layering, and micropropagation. Grafting. Grafting has long been used to produce novel varieties of roses, citrus species, and other plants. In grafting, two plant species are used. Part of the stem of the desirable plant is grafted onto a rooted plant called the stalk. The part that is grafted or attached is called scions. Both are cut at an oblique angle. Any angle other than right angle is called oblique. Placed in close contact with each other and are then held together. Matching up these two surfaces as closely as possible is extremely important because these will be holding the plant together. The vascular system of two plants grow and fuse, forming a graft. After a period of time, the scions start producing shoot and eventually start bearing flowers and fruits. Grafting is widely used in vitro culture, grapes growing, and the citrus industry. It is capable of producing a particular fruits variety, or you can say that it is used to produce specific disease resistant plants. Cutting. Plants such as coleus and money plant are propagated through stem cutting, where a portion of the stem containing nodes and internode is placed in moist soil and allowed to root. In some species, stem can start producing a root even when placed in water. For example, leaves of African violet will root if kept in water, and undistributed for several weeks. Layering. You can observe here in diagram young stem that can be bent easily without any injury are preferred. Jasmine can be propagated in this way. Layering is a method in which a stem attached to the plant is bent and covered with soil. Botany with YouTube is our channel. Like our channel, like our video. If you have any question, you can ask us in comment section. And if you want to share your point of view related to our topic, you can also share with us in comment section. Micro propagation. It is also called plant tissue culture. It is a method of propagating a large number of plants from a single plant in a short time under laboratory conditions. This method allows propagation of rare endangered species that may be difficult to grow under natural conditions. They are economically important or they are in demand as disease-free plants. To start plant tissue culture, a part of the plant such as stem, leaves, embryo, anther and seed can be used. The plant material is thoroughly sterilized using a combination of chemical treatments standardized for that species under sterile conditions. The plant material is placed on a plant tissue culture medium that contains all the minerals, vitamins, hormones required by the plant. The plant pot often gives rise to undifferentiated mass known as callus, from which individual plantlets begin to grow after a period of time. These can be separated and the first grown under greenhouse conditions before they move to field conditions. Advantages of asexual reproduction in plants. The organism that reproduces asexually has the ability to take many different extensive forms that allow asexual reproduction to succeed in various environments. The asexual reproduction is only performed in the organism that often stay in one place. It does not need mobility. So most plants have greatly ability to create their offspring as this process does not need to move to another place. Asexual reproduction has a rapid increase of offspring, which is very helpful in producing lot of offsprings. It lets the plant make lots of offspring effectively, which will help them increasing their genes. The asexual reproduction is not complex. It requires less energy compared to the sexual reproduction, and there is no need for much time or energy to produce the offspring. So the plant can produce many offspring without considering the amount of time and energy to consume. The asexual reproduction does not need to look for a mate, as looking for a mate is difficult or impossible with sexual reproduction, especially when colonizing new areas. It needs only one parent which is ready to reproduce. When the organism is established in suitable habitat, It can reproduce rapidly to produce many new individuals and the stable environments with very little change or favorable for the organism to reproduce asexually. Disadvantages of asexual reproduction. Many organisms that only perform the asexual reproduction process have less chance to adapt to the changes of environment as they need stable environment. Only one parent plant is required for the asexual reproduction. The new plants are identical to the parent one so that good features will always be passed on and the chromosomes and gene of the parent will be copied. So there will be genetic defect or the mutation in the offspring with no exception. The asexual reproduction does not have the genetic diversity. There is less variation produced with the offspring and the organism become less adapted to certain environmental changes. The entire communities will not be adapted to the harsh environment. The asexual reproduction usually lead to struggle for the existence as well as the overcrowding, and the main distinction of asexual reproduction from the sexual reproduction is that there is no need for two parents as well as special cell to reproduce. Thanks to visit our channel. Thanks for your concentration, for your attention. Good luck to all of you. Allah Hafiz.